The list of countries directly helping Russia in its war against Ukraine has not changed for a year. According to Ukrainian intelligence, they remain in Iran, Belarus, where they continue to repair equipment and train mobilized men, and North Korea. Russia receives some dual-use technologies or components for weapons smuggling from third countries, but the volume of such deliveries is small.
In principle, the list of countries which transfer weapons to Russia is not that long. Then stories about grey cooperation begin, about the so-called gasket companies, about dual-use goods. But it is more difficult to deal with this exactly, because sometimes it is even difficult to put forward claims to such things. Andriy Yusov, representative of the main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, in an interview with Ukrainska Pravda.
Often such illegal transfer of technology or even military equipment is taken up by private companies. Thus, the Ukrainian media military discovered Chinese Tiger armored vehicles in service with the mercenaries of Kadyrov. Judging by the messages of Kadyrov himself in social networks, the Chechen regime purchased the equipment directly from the manufacturer. This is the first such recorded case. Another way to obtain high technologies for Russian military equipment is to recall products previously sold abroad. Thus, according to the Nikkei media, Uralvagonzavod bought almost 7,000 of its own optical sights and 200 cameras for mounting on tanks from Myanmar and India.
There are many old T-72 tanks in storage in Russia which need modernization, and subsequently they can be sent to the front line. I can add that optics is a big problem for the Russian military-industrial complex. In all likelihood, they are trying to get optics in this way. Oleg Ignatov, analyst on Russia from the Brussels-based International Crisis Group, in Union comments.
Russian factories with a significant decrease in the volume of output due to sanctions can still produce hulls and chassis of equipment, but without modern technology they are not effective. Due to Western sanctions, even Moscow's trading partners such as China or India refuse to provide such technologies in significant volumes, but Russia continues to receive the necessary components by smuggling. Over the past year, the Kremlin was able to smuggle $1 billion worth of sanctioned goods from the European Union, according to Financial Times.
Спроможності російського ВПК насправді на сьогоднішній день.
The ability of the Russian military-industrial complex, in fact, is several times less today than it was before the full-scale invasion. They pretty much exhausted their supply. Their pace of production does not allow them to independently replenish the ammunition they need, taking into account their goals, methods, and methods of warfare. Now, the world policy of our partners, including sanctions, should be directed to limit the ability of Russia's partners to help them as much as possible.
Ukraine's allies, represented by the European Union and the G7, are publicly declaring the development of new tools to combat the circumvention of previously imposed sanctions. According to the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, the upcoming 11th EU sanctions package will focus mainly on this. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Danilo Kobza, UATV News.